welcome back to another edition of Skate Shop Stories with me, Mel. I'm having the most fantastic week. This week started on Saturday night when we took part in a parade to honour the Reclaim the Night protest march from back in 1977. It was an absolutely epic celebration of taking up space and being proud of that space that you take up. I'm so pleased that we got to be part of it, and it was a creative vision brought to life, curated by Leeds Art Gallery and director Melanie Manchot. It was all about being together, connecting, taking up space in a really joyful way. It was a bit of a spectacle. It just pulled together lots of different artists, dance groups from all over Leeds, and it was really awesome. And I think the vision was really inspired, even if it wasn't obvious what was actually going to happen until the final thing happened. What was a bit crazy about it was the silent disco and workshops that happened after the parade. And we had workshops until 1 a.m. So my workshop was about skaters and steppers. It followed a Kathak and Indian dance workshop, which was very visual and very based in storytelling, but the movements were like flowing and just really beautiful, and the teacher brought so much energy. It was a little bit intimidating to follow, but at the same time our styles are so different. It was just that celebration of dance designed for non-skate professionals and non-dance professionals, or people who don't have formal training in either but enjoy both, or they're curious about one or curious about the other. It's just about feeling good in your body. I've noticed I feel really good in my body when I move to the very ends of my fingers. I will always encourage people to practice their movements as big as they can, and then bigger. So keep growing and keep pushing what they believe they're capable of, because I know what we're capable of, and it is a lot more than we maybe believe that we are able to do. So this is all about building your belief in yourself, your self-belief. Saturday night, Sunday morning, that's where we started our week this week. And then I've had some people come into the shop to buy their first pair of roller skates, and it is always such a special moment when people come in and buy their first ever pair of roller skates, depending on what experience they've got. But in this particular case, this person had no experience, and she was very intimidated and had deliberately chosen a weekday knowing that it would be a little bit quieter in town. And she came in with her partner and asked loads of questions and then put some boots on. And I felt a bit embarrassed actually, because at the moment, as you know, we are moving premises, so I'm not necessarily buying as much new stock as I would have been 2 months ago. We're trying to just clear out some of the stuff that we've got so that I have less to move. It doesn't need to go on sale. I'm just, as we sell it, I'm not necessarily instantly replacing it because I don't feel I need to. But then when we get to our new venue, we'll build the stock back up again. Easy peasy. But she was a size that's outside of the most common sizes for women's feet, which is absolutely fine, but it meant that she had a smaller choice right now. I was saying, you know, I can order boots in for you, that's absolutely no problem, but it depends what you want. So based on what she wants, she went away really happy. I said, I like people to think about it and like really go away and take your time and think about it. I've been reflecting a lot about this space and my role as a shopkeeper, actually have I done a good job, I suppose. And I sit here and I mull it over, and then I write my newsletter, because sometimes writing things down is just a different form of getting it out of your body. Lots of different ways of dealing with the feelings I'm experiencing, I guess. But certainly, as I've been reflecting, I've realised that I don't think I'm very good as a salesperson. I don't feel comfortable or confident selling things, but I've also been I've watched quite a lot of videos recently about MLM, multi-level marketing, scamming, and how people get duped into these schemes and these pyramid schemes and end up investing loads of money, and they don't really get a return, and they're expecting a return. I mean, it's about recruitment and building the legs of the pyramid. And sometimes I wonder, because people will place an order with our shop and it might be quite a lot of money, and they will leave with nothing. And the trust that people place in us, I feel, is enormous, because I don't know if I'd be comfortable placing an order for £300 and in a shop and then leaving with nothing to show for it, essentially. So I'm thinking, like, please take your receipt, please let me print an order out for you, let me do this, so that you know that you're getting your goods. I want you to know that I appreciate the trust that you've placed in me to deliver these goods, and I am going to damn well make sure you get your goods. I'm not a person that's going to take your money and run away with it. And all of that stuff is, I guess, swirling around my head a little bit. I've not been accused of being a scammer, but it was maybe part of the trauma of the pandemic, of taking people's money and not being able to fulfill orders, but also having absolutely no idea when those orders were going to be fulfilled, because all the factories had closed down and we just didn't know anything. So if you were skating at that time, or you ordered skates at that time, or you were trying to get into skating at that time, maybe you remember what it was like. But it was incredibly stressful as a shop owner. I think there was definitely a point that I reached when I had to close the pre-orders, because I had something like 200 pairs of skates on back order, and it was keeping me awake at night. It made me so anxious that if all those people decided they wanted their money back the next day, that I needed to be able to do that. But that would mean that I'm going to still get 200 pairs of skates, and then what? And potentially not be able to sell them. So it was I think it all worked out in the end, but there were certainly moments where I felt like I'd bitten off more than I can chew. I think all I've learned now in business especially is I always feel like that. There isn't really a moment where that has gone away, although there are also probably more straightforward businesses to run. I choose to constantly innovate and change things, and my team, as tiny as they are, do have to pull me back a little bit and say, Mel, no, this is working, we don't need to change it, it's absolutely fine, this works, people understand what's going on, leave it alone. Anyway, so today we had another customer who came and upgraded her roller skates, and I could feel the moment when she put her boot on, and it was a full body sigh, a full body release of tension, of feeling comfortable in this boot that will enable her to move. And it felt like the moment that she really saw herself as like, actually, I'm a skater now. I deserve these boots. I've worked really hard. I'm able to do this, this, and this, and I want to take my skating onto the next level. Actually, I've now got more skate goals for myself, and I know what I want to do. And I just love it. It was so special. If you've got any questions this week about the shop or anything else, then feel free to drop some notes in the comments. If you think that I should keep on talking, then let me know. Any topics you want to hear about, or if you're enjoying hearing about the people who come in. I love sharing what I do. I get so much joy from doing this and being in this space. I'm definitely going to miss this space, so I'm trying to make as many videos here as possible before we move. Really love this building. Thank you very much for joining me today in the skate shop for another little story. If you enjoyed this one, I would love it if you pressed the like button, and if you want to follow what we're doing, then please subscribe, because when we move to our new studio, which will be the Skate Sanctuary, that's because I'm gonna put a little picture there. When we move to the studio, I will be recording a lot more video content, including more tutorials, which is something we just don't have the space to do now. So I am very much looking forward to that. Right, I will see you on the next one. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.